You made it?
Oh, girl, you crazy.
No. Yeah.
What up, everybody? It's time for another episode of the Chicago 60 Podcast. We have an amazing episode for you tonight. Tonight, we have our special guest. It's Susan Gordon. She's here with us tonight, and we have some amazing stuff to talk about. So with that, let's get right into it. It's time for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Susan, what's up?
Hello.
Hello. Cheers to the podcast. Crack that beer, bro. Crack that beer.
That might be already cracked, bro.
Oh, you'll be cracked. Oh, I don't say mine.
Oh, it's cracked.
Somebody's ready to start, son.
Shit.
I'm gonna burp this whole episode. I'm nervous.
That's okay.
We like it when people are nervous. That means we are doing something right.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Be very nervous.
Okay.
How things nervousness. Okay.
What's happening?
I don't know.
It's happening.
It's happening now. Hello, everybody. I am your illustrious host, Justin J. War, host of the Chicago 60 Podcast. And across from me is my illustrious co-host.
That's right. It's Ron Russell, baby.
It's Ron Russell, baby. Drop the baby.
Drop.
And
Don't do that.
She said don't drop it.
Don't look. We're not talking about an actual baby,
No.
but we got Ron Russell. How you doing, Ron?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. I'm not
Excellent.
coughing all over the place. I mean,
That's
coughed
right.
a couple times, but it won't be like last week.
He
That is
coughed on
fantastic.
this cough drop he gave me, and I refused to eat it.
There you go. I didn't know that cough drops were edible in that way. I thought you just sucked on.
You chew
cough
them.
drops.
You totally chew them.
You can
You're a
chew
big
cough
fat
drops?
liar if you don't
Okay.
chew your cough drops.
Okay.
You gotta you gotta chew your cough drops.
That's right.
At
You do.
some point, you
At
get
some point.
impatient and you chew all hard candy. It's the law of the land.
It's like Jawbreakers with Ed, Ed, and Eddie. That's how I see that. And let me just get to the rest of the crew that we have tonight. Of course, we have our man in the booth. We got Quiet. Storm and Norman. What's up, Storm and Norman? How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Thank you. That is delightful. We've got our other crew member. We got Joe Nilo. What's up, Joe?
What's up?
What's up, Joe? And tonight's episode is filmed in front of a live audience.
Wow.
Tonight we have
Background tonight,
live
y'all.
audience member. Audience member, would you like to say something to the crew? To
Yes!
the crowd?
I am alive.
He is alive. He is not a zombie. All right. Well, that is the crew. Everybody, we have an amazing, fantastic episode. And the reason that we do is because we have this lovely lady sitting in between myself and Ron. And this is Susan
Right.
Gordon, actress extraordinaire, puppet master, and all things fantastic of fantasticness. It is Susan FoxyBob Gordon.
Wow.
Hello, how are
I
you?
can't beat that.
Well,
I
it's
can't
not a
do that.
competition.
I feel like if you made your Tinder profile, my name tag. No, that's true.
Those are all the fancy
the
sayings.
secret notes. I feel like you would get so many dates.
I definitely. I'm just gonna put a sound bite on my Tinder from now on,
Yes.
and then people will be like, "Is this person a cartoon?"
I would
Which
date
is
a
what
cartoon.
a girl who I went on a date with actually said to me. She listened to the podcast. She's like, "Are you a human cartoon?" I was like,
What did you say?
"Maybe."
There you
I've
go.
been told that myself.
Maybe.
sir.
Tell her
It's
everything
strange,
at
strange.
cartoon, you know
That's how
what
the
I mean?
creative peeps be.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's beer of the night is Miller High Life.
That's right.
Miller High Life.
Mhm.
And this episode is brought to you by Revolution Beer. Hey, do you like a good Chicago beer and not one that's from Milwaukee like we're drinking right now? Well, then Revolution Beer is for you. Do you want to start a revolution? Do you feel the burn? Are you feeling like You want to go get some pitchforks and like go find a guillotine somewhere and then find some aristocrats and then chop their heads off. But then you realize that if you chop their heads off, that's technically murder, and then you would go to jail. So instead of doing that, you just get a bunch of pitchforks and you go outside or some picket signs and you just yell real loud. That's Revolution Beer from Chicago. So if you like anti-heroes, or if you like heroes in books and movies, it doesn't matter. If you just like drinking quality beer, then Revolution, a good Chicago beer at a great Chicago price. That is where it is
At?
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Revolution, for sending us that copy. Go drink them. Go drink all of them. Them being their beers.
R-E-F-O-L-U-T.
Drink the beer.
I-O-N Revolution, baby.
There you go. They also sent us that jingle. I'm glad you were able to participate in that. So there we go. All right. So thank you.
Do this episode today.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna.
You got two cartoons in here, and one 3D person.
That's right.
Let's go.
Okay. Susan.
Yes.
You're here. You're live in front of us. Now, you are somebody that I would call talented.
Oh, wow. Compliment hour, huh? Keep them coming.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I wanted to talk to you real briefly. We're just gonna shoot shit.
Okay.
Shoot
Let's
some
do it.
shit.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I want to talk to you first. A lot of people who may be watching don't know who you is and what you
cool.
is about. So I
Yes.
thought, number one, you're an actress.
Howdy doody. Yes, I am. What was that?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I don't know, but you're an actress, a very talented actress. You've been on many shows here in the Chicago area.
Like the bigger ones?
The bigger ones and the
Dose.
smaller ones.
Those and tiny ones, yes.
Yes, many things. What were the big ones you were
Yeah.
on?
Share with
I
us
guess the
show
ones
you.
that people are like, whoa, you did that, were Empire and Chicago PD.
What? Were you in those?
I was like in there,
Wow.
and I said stuff.
Nice.
You said stuff because people when you tell them you're an actor, the first thing they say is, "Oh, so are you from anything?
What were you in?
What have you
What
done?
have you done?"
Oh my God, you were in Chicago PD? Oh, wow, I saw that when I was scrolling through once.
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hate on my show. I just did. What?
No, you
I
didn't.
love everybody who works on it. They're great.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They're just like, that's just Susan being Susan.
Yeah.
This
Which is
true.
what I say all the time. I'm just like, that's just Susan being Susan. Even when you're not around, I just say that.
Yeah.
We'll not get into that. But
Mhm.
anywho's, so you've been on many a show,
Yeah.
and you've one thing that I want to highlight real quick because it's very important,
Yeah.
as you were in a very big lead role in a wonderful short, not short, but like an indie film called Ginger.
Yeah.
Movie.
I was. Yeah.
And that I've seen most of it.
You
parts of
have?
it, I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I've
cool.
seen clips of it that you've shown me.
Oh, I didn't do that like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
sorry.
When we first met, whenever we met, from our audience member.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Audience member.
Real,
Did you hear
real, and things.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Should I tell the audience?
Yes,
you
tell
should.
that's why I
Wow.
brought it up.
Well, okay. So yes,
Tell us
this
about it.
is really good news. The movie will be on demand on May 1st.
Wait.
What is it called?
Tell
Oh.
people about the movie
What is
first,
this
and
synopsis?
tell them the great news.
Okay, so this movie is really cool. It's called Ginger, and it's made by a couple filmmakers. So it's like a husband and wife, Jimmy and Melissa Boritin. I think Melissa kept her last name, so her last name is Beck. So what up? Third wave feminism. Anyway, so Melissa was diagnosed with cancer when she was 23. I believe so. I could be fucking up your story, Melissa, and I'm so sorry. You can retell it, or you can visit the website to get the full detailed version. But basically, she got cancer. She went through chemo. They said it was good. Then she got it again. She got a double mastectomy, and then they said, "All right, you're good." And then right before we shot, she got diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic. I think that's how you say it. I never read that word right, which means that it is like a terminal disease at that point. You're living with cancer.
Yeah.
And so the movie is about early detection because she got it when she was early, but it is also about raising awareness for people with stage 4 because these are the people actually dying from cancer, and these are the people getting the least amount of help in research.
Right.
So it's also for the community of people who need like more work done to find better treatments and all that kind of jazz. So it is an important movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it
And
is.
you're
Got a good message. Good
You're the lead
message.
in that movie.
Yes.
How did you prepare?
Oh, that's a
Whatever.
tough question.
It is a tough question.
Lots of research.
Yeah.
Lots of sad stuff.
Mhm.
I don't quite remember. It's been like 3 years, but it was definitely a lot of just research. I like just listened to Melissa, of course, and what she just said offhand,
Yeah.
because most of the time we were just rehearsing, and it was the stuff she didn't tell me that was most important, like the stuff she would just say in conversations.
Wow.
And she let me go to chemo, and then that kind of was interesting because, I mean, at this time, I wasn't really a dramatic actress. I was more like a comedian who happened to get cast in a drama. So like crazy, right? So I would make everything funny, as you guys can probably relate to. And they asked me to go to chemo, and I was like, wow, this is it? You just sit in a room, it's so quiet. Like you expect it to be so dramatic. And they commented on how I said this is it because it is chemo. It's terrible. But like, I guess that's when it became more real, is like in those quiet moments where you're like, oh shit, cancer doesn't feel like a movie about cancer. Cancer is just reality. And yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Yes. It is a thing that exists that no one wants to exist.
Nobody
but
wants it to
exists
exist.
No
nonetheless.
one wants any existence of that anywhere
Near them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay away
Stay away.
from cancer.
Yeah, can't
Please.
stay away.
I wish cancer was a person, and then
We could all punch it. I know, right?
Oh, punch it.
but then that would suck for that person. So that's not a good.
But it's
Cancer
cancer, it's not a
person. Cancer, not
person.
person. I'll punch
But-
cancer right in the fucking face.
Me too.
With Manning golden glove ass fists. I would knock
Yeah.
that ass out.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. We would use a surrogate to punch cancer. That surrogate being Landon's
Surrogate
golden glove fist.
A pro puncher.
Yes.
Not cancer.
For those listening or watching,
Landon is
Landon
in
is
the
our
building.
live audience member.
Landon is a live audience member, and he loves posting videos of himself punching things on Instagram.
Because he's a good puncher.
He goes, and his hair flops.
Wait, your hair flop for real?
Yes.
Oh,
You
yeah,
better
his
keep-
hair does flop.
It's
He's a
like
flop.
it's
He's
like
a hair
this,
flopper.
and then it flops, and I'm like,
Hey.
damn, Landon.
Man, keep that hair down, man. I don't need that Superman curly ass and shit. Like,
See,
you
but
know what I'm
that's
saying?
but
Keep
the
that
thing
shit
is,
aside,
just
man.
like with my hair on occasion, he gets to do the whole Sean from Boy Meets World.
You know,
thing.
first
Oh,
of all, both of y'all and y'all
Too
perfect hair and
mad.
shit. You
Eric Matthews is where it's at, and he's on Cameo, that website where you can get voicemails from celebrities, and I'm saving up to get a voicemail from Eric Matthews.
Delightful.
I'm very excited.
I bet you.
love
I can
him.
see it. I can see it.
I
That's
will marry
delightful.
him. He's old.
Yeah. Well, you might want to check if he's available first, but then yeah.
He might be.
He might be.
Oh,
He might be.
There's
And hey,
responsibility.
Susan's looking for you, which isn't supposed to sound creepy, but whatever. Okay, cool. So yeah. But going back to the movie, it's very important. It's got a good message. It was. It looked like it was an experience, right? You had to,
sorry, I
like-
laughed at that movie. No, it was an experience. Yes, it was hard.
And you had to do like go full cancer on that.
I didn't have cancer, but I had
Well, I
to
mean,
go
like-
full shave.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean like by full cancer, like, hey, cancer, come in and infect me so I can get the experience.
No,
I'm not saying like that, but
Yeah, the head shave scene. What a time. That was not the hardest scene in the movie for me, but yes, that happened.
gotcha. All
Yeah.
right, let's not say anymore. You should go see it when it's
Well, it's going to be available on demand May 1st, which means that's crazy. I don't really know what that fully means, but basically it'll be available on TV, and according to Lindsay,
So
it
platform
means I reached all greatness.
Xfinity, we can presume. You know, like what platforms?
Xfinity and Comcast, right?
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are one and the same.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. I haven't had a
Most
TV in
excellent.
like 6 years.
That's because you're a true actor. You don't need the TV.
Thank
That's why you're a
you.
TV girl.
Netflix.
Netflix. You can
Yes.
watch Netflix on your TV, on your phone. You don't need-
I watch on my laptop.
Boom. There you go. That's
Yeah.
true.
How do you watch your Netflix?
How do you watch your Netflix?
How do you watch your Netflix?
Dude, I got Netflix on every device I have.
You stream it.
I stream it.
There you stream
I'm a streamer, man.
You're streaming that.
All day.
Oh man.
I mean, you know,
You got the Disney Plus.
I got Disney Plus.
Oh shit.
ESPN Plus.
Oh man, that's a lot of
I got
You're just screaming randomly.
He's throwing
What
out
the
there.
fuck is happening?
I
All
just felt like I was in the middle of a weird sandwich.
Yeah.
Actually, you were.
Yes.
Are we all just in a weird sandwich?
Yes,
That
we
life
are.
is a weird
Life is a weird
sandwich.
sandwich. You
Is
just
that-
Life is
You're
a
getting-
nightmare.
you're
Life is a sandwich. No, life is a nightmare. Give me some man.
Wow.
She's freestyling on the.
Wow.
Damn.
This is
Isn't
a
that
first
fun?
on the podcast. White girl freestyles on podcast is the headline on tomorrow's New York Times.
That's how we go
Yeah.
upload this.
That's
No
right.
doubt.
Yep.
People, I say
Exactly.
share the
Exactly.
post.
I know.
Keep sharing Chicago 60, everybody.
That's
We
right.
see what you
Yeah.
are.
Oh,
I see
looking on their
things happening.
laptop.
Things are happening. Yeah, you don't get one because you're the guest. It's all about you. Don't be distracted by things that could distract you that'll distract you.
True.
You just talk.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. Netflix is really doing an interesting thing. They're technically bankrupt.
Oh.
They're in debt massively, but they're putting out content on content on content on content.
That's
Just
true.
to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much just moving everybody. I mean, I was listening to this today. I'm curious what you two think, since we're all trying to get into that biz, right?
Yes.
Or we're in the biz. We're in the biz.
I'm halfway in and out the biz.
It's like doing the hokey pokey. We got
Yes,
our left
I'm
foot
in
in,
that time.
then somebody else removes our left leg out, and
That's
then they
normal.
pull it back in.
Because you
When
don't
they
never
want
take,
us to shake it all about.
because you never take your own foot out. You know.
You go,
somebody else-
oh shit, I got a bunch of jobs and then I don't have jobs for 2 years. And then I got a job and I'm like, wow, and then I don't have
I
any,
have
and
jobs.
It's like, oh my god, it's happening. And then it's like, no, it's not happening anymore. Then I do
Exactly.
that for now.
That's why people do cocaine. Cocaine.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
I don't think I should try that.
I don't.
I mean, you and I are hyper enough that
We don't
if we
need
did
that.
it, I think we would just explode.
I think that we become cocaine confetti.
Yeah, cocaine.
Say that
confetti,
5 times.
Confetti.
Cocaine confetti, cocaine confetti. See, it didn't work.
yeah. Delightful.
You want
So, but I mean, like, do you have aspirations? Like, would you want to be on? I mean, I want to be on Netflix. So I'd like to have a show on Netflix.
yeah, dude. I'll
Me too.
Dude, I would pretty much be on a local network show. So Netflix, absolutely.
Do you think that?
Absolutely.
Do you think that? I mean, it's already kind of happening,
Mhm.
but there's like this well, I don't know if it's a backlash, but there's like this fight right now where you've got streaming service stuff like the Netflix and Disney Plus and all these Amazon
Yeah.
Prime. You got all these people.
I
streaming
love
shit.
it. I think
But
it's
then you
great
got-
for us.
I do. Yeah, it's more opportunities to get more. It's content.
So-
But the problem is there a problem where there's too much content? I mean,
Yeah.
is there a problem? I mean, now cable networks are fighting against the streaming. They're all trying to come out with their own streaming.
Well-
Is regular TV even going to exist?
Well, there is no
What is going on?
There is no regular TV anymore. I mean, if anything, regular TV is
Streaming.
yeah.
You're on the hey.
That's
Are
it.
you on those YouTubes?
Yeah.
You do the tubes with the U's?
People are
I think the
streaming
only
whatever.
problem with having so much content, and I don't think there is a problem with having content, like the only like devil's advocate, like what is it, devil's advocate, would be maybe like people forget content easier and they forget how the worth of content. I think that's the only
that's a
thing.
great point. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the same thing that's happened to music.
Yeah.
Artists turn music around so fast, you don't get a chance to really appreciate it the
Yeah.
way you used to. Like when you used to go and I remember going to buy a CD on Tuesdays or Fridays when I got paid, but new music came out on Tuesdays, but you looked at that board and man, you're like, okay, Wu-Tang come out November 16th. It's like July, but you waited for that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
That's what I
You-
mean. Yeah.
You waited for it. And then
Yeah. mhm.
You don't even wait for a TV show anymore because
don't.
on the Netflix and the Disney Pluses, they just come out
That's
with
my
a
point.
whole
That's
series.
what I
That's
mean
my
too.
point.
And then,
Yeah.
and now we're all gonna become fat slobs and we're
Who-
just gonna binge watch
Who
shit.
wants
right
to
in a row.
watch a show and wait for every episode every week when you can go watch something streaming, get the whole
Right.
series?
But you lose
I agree.
And then you're just
I
because
agree.
because they do the thing
Anticipation.
right, which is part of the experience.
Anticipation is making me wait.
I love how she sings every point.
I just want to like take all the snippets of all her things and turn it into one.
It's gonna be like
recording.
just all of her just
Yeah.
singing.
We're just gonna add them
It'll be a
into
medley.
random points.
Totally
of videos.
medley.
Yeah.
Susan's.
We'll do a comedy video, but like in the background music, we'll just use her.
Oh, that'd be dope as hell.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was
Keep
just a-
singing so we
quick
got
shout
stuff
out.
to edit.
yeah. But what I was like with all the streaming and all the Netflix and everything, and also they do the thing where starting a new episode in 5 seconds. Decide now if you
You
want to
can't
keep
even-
watching.
Exactly.
It's
Like,
what? I
they
just wanna
draw
relax,
you.
man.
Yeah, they draw you in. You can't even like go take a shit real
No.
fast. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, I gotta
I
take a shit.
can.
Second, go ahead and get up here.
You can.
Really?
Oh,
You
no.
you
I just wanted to push your buttons.
No.
And I
Push-
picked real
yeah.
fast.
You know, but the one thing about the Netflix and everything like that really pisses me off is when I've been watching a whole series,
Yeah.
like back to back to back to back to back, and then in the middle of an episode where I'm already invested, it's like towards the end of the series, they go, "Do you continue watching?" I'm like, "No fucking shit! I want to continue watching Netflix. Why would you stop 30 minutes into an hour show to ask me if I want to continue watching?
Well,
What the fuck possibly could have happened?"
That's
You
cool.
want
I'm
you to
cool
take
with
a
that.
second and reflect on yourself.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
You're making a bad life choice.
I'm cool with that because when Netflix do
no.
that, you watch like 12 episodes already, so they probably
Yeah.
think your ass is asleep.
That's
And
true.
that's how they check.
My
Who
aunt
else?
used to fall asleep when television was a thing and wake up to porn.
Whoa.
She would go, wow,
Somebody
what an
says
interesting movie I'm going to watch at midnight. She falls asleep and then she hears, oh, porn, oh, porn, oh,
Wait,
no.
I love the pornos when they say that it's porn in
Yeah,
the pornos.
that is hilarious.
Just in case I forgot.
Oh, porn.
I didn't want to
Oh,
commit
that's
enough
hilarious.
to
He's
that.
all making
You are
us
so stupid.
Oh, this porn is
Oh,
amazing.
porn,
Oh my god, this porn is
Porn.
so good. Porn.
This is
That was not an act. That's not an
That is
accident.
so.
You don't accidentally wake up to porn.
My
That's the
aunt does.
You do not accidentally wake up to
You
porn.
do, Rhonda. She
You act
doesn't
like you're
afraid to
asleep.
admit she
Exactly.
Yeah.
When someone walks
For
in,
so long, you
oh,
can porn jack in your sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't wake up.
No, you don't. It's. I mean, and if
Not
you
that I
do,
know anything about it.
nope.
I was a child at one point.
I'm a good Christian boy. I don't
Right.
watch
Me
porn.
too.
What is that?
What is that?
So does Netflix have porn?
No.
I don't know.
Thank
It's
God.
called
Thank
Petflix.
you.
Wait, no, it's not. That would be
That's a
walking down the road.
whole nother
That's
thing.
another fetish, which is not okay. But it
Yeah.
is to imagine and to. Never mind.
That's.
Let's continue forward.
Let's continue.
Let's continue forward.
Forwardness.
Somewhere we're taking a fork somewhere and we're continuing on this conversation.
I wanted to jump in with a public service announcement about Netflix.
Oh, please.
This
Joe.
is my concern that I want to just put out there to make people aware of the power of Netflix. When we used to watch TV,
Mhm.
we were able are able to change the channel. You have choices over what you're watching. You have all the channels to choose from, and then based on the time you have, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. My point is, Netflix is telling you what to watch, and God, there are so many people in this, not just this country, but in the entire world. The entire world is watching Netflix. Every country in the world are actively watching Netflix right now, and Netflix is telling them what to watch. Netflix is telling them what suggestions to watch, and then it's
I
not
don't
telling
really
them what to
know
watch, but it's
if
going,
that's-
hey,
It's-
you should watch
Heavily-
this.
It's heavily suggesting.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Since
wait.
you watch
Some
this,
of my
everyone does
friends
that.
worked on the show
They
The
have
Pharmacist.
a lot of power over.
My
I want to
friend,
watch that.
my friends
I
in New
wanna watch that.
Orleans worked on The Pharmacist, plugging it.
Nice.
Yes, my friend Kevin Hughes did the droney.
That's what's up. That look real good. Yeah, they
Well,
were
that-
trying to get that pharmacist.
I don't know if I
I'm
necessarily
not
agree
watching
that.
it for a very long time. It looks sad.
Do you not watch a lot of sad shows?
I do, but I've done way too much research on the opioid crisis to want to enter that
Yeah,
realm again
interesting.
right now in my
Very
life.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad as though. I don't
It is
wanna
very
do it right
sad.
now. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this because I mean that's an interesting thought, but I like with net. I mean, yes, everything is suggesting. Every social media or streaming service or anything is always suggesting things like, if you bought this, then you should like this, and if you watch this, then you might like this. And it's all about keeping you on their platforms for as long as possible because they track all of that, and that's where they get their money for advertising and all the other shit that they have on there.
Correct.
Right. So my question is like just in general with social media, because we're all actors and comedians and entertainers, right? And do you find, Susan, like I mean I hate I hate doing social media. Do you hate doing social media?
Yes.
What is your strategy to tackle the social media?
I just started. Like, I was like
Yeah.
told by somebody, like, you don't do social media. You need to do social media. You're an actor, and I'm about to like make a show, so I need to do it. And so now what I'm doing is, well, I made a little page on the Instagram, which is crazy.
Oh my god.
And then for acting, and that was scary. I was so scared. I did it, and I was like, wow, I did it. And then I was off of it for like 2 weeks because I forgot I did it. And then I like went back on it, and everyone else was tagging me and things, and I was like,
Let's go.
Maybe
That's good.
I'll just wait while everyone people tag me.
No, you have to
You
also
have to tag
do.
back.
You have to do too.
Or
You have to do.
you use robots.
You could
I like
also
that
use
plan.
bots. You can
No,
use
okay.
bots.
I
That's
guess
a
I
whole
know.
nother-
I have no game
That's a
plan.
whole nother conversation.
That is a whole other
That's
conversation.
offline. 'Cause
But I mean, yeah,
everyone doesn't like when you have bots
that's
controlling
right.
your
Yeah,
shit.
that's a whole.
That's
We
cheating.
get into a whole.
That's
other
Astro
conversation.
shit.
Arigato, Mr. Roboto.
It's amazing how you can your references to music callbacks is impressive. That's pretty good.
Ron is just sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
That's great.
I love it. No. So, legitimately, the social media and everything that's going on with social media these days. Joe made a good point that it is suggesting a lot of things. It gets to the point now where I'm on Facebook or something else. This is one that really freaks me out. I met somebody. I didn't exchange numbers. I didn't do anything.
No.
All of a sudden,
They're on your Facebook.
they're my suggested Facebook friends thing.
It's
Come on.
right
I
here.
Whoa,
tagging,
time out.
nothing.
Wait. Stop.
We're being watched.
Stop. Wait, you said, start over. You met somebody,
I meet
you did
somebody,
not exchange numbers.
Correct. No exchange of numbers. No anything on any platform
Right.
has been exchanged.
Yeah,
of any
yeah,
kind. I just met the fucking person.
Right.
Mark
And all of a sudden-
Zuckerberg is watching them.
It's the
And
NSA, I tell
says,
you.
I love the world. I want
Do you
everyone
have an Apple Watch?
to be very happy
He does not.
and be best friends on computers.
Are you like a walking Coca-Cola commercial?
Yeah. She's like,
you should just
Tyrese.
continue. Yeah. I want to give you a Coca-Cola.
Please. I would get paid millions if I was in a Coke commercial.
You would get paid lots of money.
I
You
want
would
that
be paid some
money.
serious bread if you was in a Coke commercial. Back to you not meeting a person, exchanging numbers,
Yes.
anything, but they popped up in your suggested, like on Facebook.
Yes.
Wow, that's fucked up.
That's
It
what I'm
happened to
saying.
me several times.
How do you feel
Yeah, but
about
normally
that
when that happens, you
It's
do-
weird.
I thought when it happens, you actually have the person, like you exchange numbers, and then that person pops up
No.
because it's like,
Well, the only thing I could think of is, like, if we are in a similar group, or if if it was a friend who kind of organized
come on, break it down, Justin. Come on.
and then they're in there,
Oh yeah.
then
yeah, that's exactly
that
what-
person
yeah.
who organized the event
They're organized.
also
Yeah,
has
yeah,
them listed. Then
I
they start
stopped
to like
listening.
Facebook,
That is
and then
not it,
and
Justin.
then the quadrants mix with the neoconjurates, and then the atoms
The quadrilateral
mix with
of the
the electrons and
circumference,
protons.
and
Fill
then
the
the symmetry
sky,
of the yeah.
Bill, nine,
That's exactly how it works.
Exactly.
Bill.
Bill could actually explain this to us.
That's exactly.
Well, Justin, let me tell you how this works.
That's exactly how
Which
it works.
was hilarious because he's not even a fucking he's not even a science major. I think he's an engineering major. or
He's
something.
totally just like
not
a
even a
ham who
science guy.
decided to like
Yeah.
learn science so he could get on TV.
He's-
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, you just gotta find the right vein. You gotta find the right avenue to get onto the
Bill
TVs.
Nye, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, there you
Bill
go.
Nye, the science guy.
He's already got science covered. You need to find a new school subject.
Oh God.
Yeah, do something with that.
I don't
Come up with a song.
The civics gal. Nobody would listen.
Civics. Oh my God,
Nobody would.
civics. If there's a subject matter people should be learning, it is probably civics at this point. Nobody knows shit about shit. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing because, particularly being actors, one, I feel like it's very important, even to potentially get noticed, to get more.
It is so
things.
important,
They're always
yeah.
they're legitimately asking like, "What's your following?" Blah blah blah, all this type of shit. And I'm like, yo,
Dude.
That has no bearing
I just
on what my
hired
talent is.
somebody. I hired someone
But-
to do my social media for my my current project,
Mhm.
and we have like a 3-month plan out. We're planning all of our posts, and like he's going to research what audience, but what people are going to watch it, and it's like that's a whole career path. Even is like,
Mhm.
who's your audience? How do you reach them? How do you pay the right person to get your stuff in front of them? It's like crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have to do more social media because these companies, well, at least on a major level, they want to make sure these people can sell tickets.
Yeah.
So they want to see that does go into consideration because it's all marketing, y'all.
It is.
And
Money,
it's
money, money.
it's money. It's money. It's more important.
How many professional social media people are there? Like, look how
Hey,
big
there's
is that
too many to
industry?
count because you have to consider every single Insta model as a social media
Okay, actually,
acolyte who's out there.
I'm not considering them.
Really? Because they
Okay.
make big bingo bucks.
No. My question
Bingo,
is more of
bingo,
like
but-
how of the Instagram celebrity, or how many of them are hiring professional people to monitor their?
Almost all of them. If
Yeah, of
you're
course.
big enough, you don't do your own shit. It's very rare.
I commented
You have a
several
PR
times
person.
on pictures of Miley Cyrus on Instagram, and has she
No
liked a
one-
single comment I've made? No.
No one. I don't think.
I'm sad.
I think it would
Miley-
Oh
probably.
man, that might mean
probably
she's
would be a
genuine
handful of-
because the hired people might have responded.
That's not
She
true.
had a team.
I wrote really
No.
good stuff on there.
Yeah, everybody
So-
does.
I don't think
Well,
everybody is doing it on social media. I mean,
No.
they don't have the time. They got somebody. They got a camp behind them. They got somebody with a phone, somebody with a camera. They snapping shots. Someone is doing that work for them. The only thing that actor or artist or whoever, the only thing they're doing is posing for the camera.
Right.
I don't think they're doing. Some may have, they may operate their Instagram account for a couple of hours. They might actually do a couple tweets here and there, but
What percentage of
Overall,
social
yeah.
media communication is just two professional people going back and forth with each other, like to build up each other?
I don't know, Joe. I think you should do this theory. Go
You
test
like-
it out.
I don't actually care.
should go-
I just think that's
Well,
a
then
funny
why pose
idea.
the question if you don't care?
It's just
That's
a funny.
silly.
It's a funny idea to imagine that the internet just consists
No,
of
I'll
two
tell you.
people
No,
working
I'll tell you.
for
Okay,
each other.
no, look. All those. You can even tell when something like is super choreographed when you have actors who are like, hey, we've got this contest and you can win tickets to come to the premiere.
they're
Nobody wants to
totally
fucking
getting
do
paid.
that shit,
they're
but they
getting-
have to. They have to.
Oh, you meant like I would join the contest.
Right. Well, right. To join the.
I
but I'm
want to
saying,
win.
if you were in that, I wouldn't want to do that, but you have to. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. You gotta
It's
do
part
it.
of what they get paid for.
Would you want to do that?
If I got to meet a random person, yeah.
No, I mean you're the actor who has to be. You have like all.
Depends.
Of your
Is it
stuff
for charity?
lined out.
Yes.
No, just for like your premiere and stuff like that.
Oh, that's weird.
Charities, of course. You put up with shit for charities because you're.
If the
you're
movie's
helping
super
people
important
around.
and helps the world, then yes.
Okay. Well, there you go.
All right, there you have it.
There you have it.
There's
On
gonna
the
be
Chicago
a
60.
Ginger sequel.
That's a good plug.
Oh, first ever on the podcast. The secret announcement has been made. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Ginger 2.
Ginger 2.
It's not called that. It's a terrible
I'm just
name.
playing. We're just joking.
It's a horror film.
What's the name of it?
It's still in development, so I have
Oh,
no
okay.
idea. I have not actually been told anything, but I
Okay,
am
we
in it.
just. So, the,
I can say that it's about caregivers and not. It's about people with cancer, but
Okay.
also about caregivers who are also a huge part of that.
Gotcha. It is not Ginger 2.
No. it's
No,
not Ginger
that's a
It's not
dumb
Ginger
name.
2. It's a dumb name.
I'm gonna raise my hand. So would it be like Ginger the Beginnings, like a prequel?
It's not a prequel. It is definitely a secondary film, and that is a
Ginger
dumb
2.
name too. Stop it! All these guys,
Still
it's not land
nice.
before time. Okay, there's not
Still
even like 6 of these.
Still rich.
Ginger 9,
It's
still
a-
Fast and Furious.
It's
You
years
know, like-
ahead. She's married.
Still
It's
rich.
about their
Still hot.
marriage, living like a couple with cancer in the marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's
So
all I know.
Ginger 2 Lost in the City.
Really, babe.
I was thinking
Oh my
Homeward Bound.
This is-
Shit.
Homeward Bound, the Ginger Story, with special guests Paul Simon and Simon
I
Garfunkel.
freaking love Paul Simon.
Can we,
I saw an old lover on the dream last
Is he
night.
still killing it? Is he still? Did you enjoy his performance?
Where did he perform?
Paul Simon. You think you just said you saw Paul Simon?
No, I love
She
Paul
said she
Simon.
loved.
I missed that.
Wait, first of all, is
We're
Paul
going to
Paul
Graceland.
Simon, is he still performing?
Graceland. Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland.
He's been old since we were.
Yeah, he's
an
old as heck,
He's
but he's
old
short
with
and
his
he's good at music. He's probably
Paul
old
Simon
though.
been good.
Like old.
This is all accurate statements.
He had a 9-year. He was on 9. I forgot.
All Simon.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Is there anything about acting in general that you really enjoy that really gets you excited to keep doing it?
Everything.
Well, okay.
But I could go into a detail.
A detail would be so nice. Yeah.
I really just enjoy creating a person. I think it's beautiful to find empathy through your choices and your research, and like getting to be in love on purpose is like the coolest thing in the world. Like how many people get to do that? You know, like, oh, I know when I'm gonna get to be in love this week. How fun is that? I love it. No, I just really like making a person, connecting with people. Making a home out of creativity is like my goal in life, is to create, like you guys are doing it with, your podcast. Like you create a community, you create people who love what you love, and then you guys can help each other do that. It's my favorite in the whole world. Zoom in on me.
It is fun though.
That was,
That's really what geeks me out about it also, is being able to you get to step outside of yourself and do something you wouldn't normally do, because the doldrums of daily life can be
But playing what'd you say? The
doldrums of life.
Doldrums of life are fun to play too.
True.
Yeah.
You
I
could
would
ham
say
up
so.
the doldrums of life. I mean, you could
could.
amp it up in comedic sense.
True.
Oh, because
Which
you're a
makes it-
comedian.
That's a I'm a I am a comedian.
See, and I've been doing drama, so I'm like, no, we have to play it down.
Yeah, right.
You have to not move your body, and your eyes have to look there, and then you have to feel.
Wait, what do you have to do?
Feel.
Feel it. Feel it.
Yeah. No.
Feel the emotion.
Like my favorite scene. Do I have a favorite scene I've done? Oh
No,
yeah.
Susan, do you have a favorite
do.
scene you've done?
No, probably yes. All the times I get to be violent.
Wow. Okay.
I
Interesting.
never get to be mad in my real person, because like that's not my like
Yeah, I don't.
neutral.
Yeah, I can't see you being.
But I'm so mad all the time.
I
And
know.
yes. And so then when I get to like be angry or rageful, it's like it all bubbles up and I can just put it in my work.
Is there anything? Okay, so actually, I'm curious now. So, is there anything in particular about living in the city that makes you very, very angry?
When people freaking walk behind me, I have to win. And when I feel like people are gonna come and pass me, I get so mad. I'm like, I walk faster, or someone's walking, but they're walking the same speed as me. I like walk faster,
So
or
you-
if they're too fast,
Are you
I
serious?
slow down.
Are you just competitive, or you really don't like people walking by?
I'm just really competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
very competitive.
What? No.
That sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then, real quick. Since you have a competitive spirit, because
Yes.
I mean, look, let's not parse words here.
It's not.
Everybody in
It's not.
it's hard to do it
It's
unless
very
you're in
hard.
a Word doc and you have the space bar between. You can.
I don't even know what the
colors.
word parse means.
It means to basically like to split.
Oh,
Context clues.
Today's word under Chicago 60 is the word sparse, meaning to split.
Fucking hell. We should. Fuck. All right. No, but I mean, like, seriously, with acting and like the entertainment world, everybody's. Do you feel like people are fake as fuck? The fifths with their,
not the people I've
their
worked with
like,
recently.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Not the
Like,
people I've worked with recently. I've been
Ah.
very hermity with my art as of like a year. For a year, I've been very hermit and only doing things with friends.
And
Well, I
why is
think-
that?
yeah. Why is yes?
Why is that?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Hell.
well, I don't know. I'm a one project at a time person when it comes to
Smart.
acting, because I get invested in the person I'm playing, and it's really hard to do multiple things when I like care so much about this one person.
Right.
And then me and Landon, who was the audience member, he was in it for like 2 days. What up? Do research later. I was in a feature for like 6 months, and then like and it was with my friends. Like that was a full-time commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, That's why, because that's what I've been doing the past year. And then I do my own projects when I'm not in something.
Right. Which is a mainstay now. Like, you really should be doing that.
Mhm.
Like, you're not, you're really behind the eight ball.
And you just
The
waiting.
game has changed.
You're just waiting.
You're
for no
waiting
reason.
for,
Who likes to do that?
I mean, people.
Waiting
There are
on the
people.
world to
Can I ask a
change.
question?
Yes.
As the
Audience
audience,
member,
as the
a question from the
audience
audience.
member,
Yes, go ahead.
so you said that you care so much about characters that you develop.
Yeah.
So take me through the process of being an actor. You get a
Oh, boy.
you get a script,
Oh boy.
or you get a role maybe, and then what from there? Because you said you developed this relationship with that character.
Oh, my process in
Yeah. So
particular?
how do you take that journey?
I actually do have like things I do for sure now, which is fun. And I've done them my whole life. That's the weird thing is like I went to all these acting schools and I still do the same things I do like I did when I was like 7. But there's of course more like nuance to it now and like details. But I get the script. I like to come up with one sentence that encompasses the meaning of that person in that story. So like for the script Easy Does It, the main sentence I wrote on the top of my script was home is baseball, or baseball is home. And my character loves baseball. That's where she knew who she was. And the whole movie she was finding home again. Yeah. And then in the last feature I did with Landon called Lucky, I wrote running from myself at the top of the script, because that's what the character was doing the whole movie, running, and then their emotional climax was facing themselves. So I knew that if I prepped the whole time like I was running from everything I hated about myself, or my character did, then that scene where I would face myself, it would be have much more brevity. So it's a little sample of what I do. Like then there's a million other things.
Yeah.
So
It's, you know,
yeah.
or as is it Ian McClellan who played Gandalf, right?
Oh yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Or as Ian McClellan likes to say, I thought about what a wizard would say, and then I said that. There's also that. So some people, you know, they go with that, and some people are just like, I'm a wizard now, and let me be a wizard. Wizard.
That's
So
how you do
there's
it.
Yeah.
Chef.
That's
Race car driver.
Go Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer.
You're stealing my shit.
Yep.
Sandra.
Yeah.
Susan.
Mhm.
I know, right? Who's fucking Sandra?
Sandra.
First of all-
Sandra. Calling Sandra.
First of all, shut the fuck up, y'all.
That's
Okay?
fine.
I called myself.
Sandra.
I called myself out.
Sandra. Sorry.
Anyway.
Yes.
I thought your comment was amazing because that is being, everybody say, they're an actor and stuff, but back to what you're saying, the roles that you're in now, you feel like, I guess, the quality of the actor is better,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At least that's what I was taking from what you were saying. But your preparation, I think, is
Is
really,
this the same as what you're saying?
it's impressive. You've been acting longer than I have.
Yeah.
So I definitely, you just actually gave me some insight on some stuff. I'm gonna
Cool.
start on that.
Please steal it.
I steal from everything.
Please
that-
steal, yes.
I steal everything.
There is no such thing as an original idea
Absolutely.
anymore.
I steal
We talked about
everything.
this
I come
once
across
before.
something that I feel like,
I
what,
actually
I'm gonna
do
take that.
something that Viola Davis says you should not do. Like she was doing
What
this
did
interview.
she say? Because I'm definitely about to do what she said don't do that.
But no, because like I do it and that's the only way I can. Like because I did it since I was a kid. And like I would go in the bathroom and just make up characters in the mirror. Like I've done that my whole life because I had no friends. Yeah, exactly. So I would just go in the mirror and I would just talk to myself and I'd come up with this person. And for me, that works. And she says, never look in a mirror while you practice acting. Like that was the first thing she said. And I was like, well, shit.
Really?
Yeah, she said that because she doesn't want you to pre-plan what you do. But for me, it's not. I'm not really pre-planning what I do. I'm just making up. That's how I make up stuff. Like I need to see this person. That's probably why I'm a character actor though, because I can see myself and I can alter that stuff. But that's like a pivotal part of what I do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
When I prepare, I don't necessarily, I walk around my house while I'm, but I don't necessarily just focus on the mirror. Like I may walk in the bathroom, I may glance in the mirror, but I don't focus on everything just in that mirror.
For me,
I walk around the whole entire.
I do that too. I think that I always do that. Like I always walk around in the city as my characters, which is probably something I shouldn't admit to.
Man, you have no fear and shit, man.
Oh no.
No, I mean, well, that's actually a fun thing to do is to be a character for an extended.
I
period
was
of time.
playing, my last character was like someone who would steal in a grocery store. So I was like, okay, I'm going to imagine that I'm going in to steal something, but not, of course, not actually do it and not actually like be too obvious. But like, it helped me. I was like, okay, shit, if I was actually doing this, this is how I'd feel. This is the high I would feel. This is like the fear I'd feel. It helped me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It really helped me. So.
That's great.
That, yeah, well, I mean, well, would that be, that's not method acting.
I would stop if
Yeah,
I was like.
I would say that's some methods.
It's like, it's
That could be.
Damn it! I was trying not to be.
That's a method.
There's a stigma about that, but.
I
when
never go too far though. Like I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to become,
No.
you don't want to be Jim Carrey in Moon.
That's too
Yeah.
much. Oh wow. I love you, Jim. I'm wearing a shirt like you. But
Yeah.
It's a great movie, but
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was very good. I did watch it.
Yeah.
I watched it for the sake of seeing like, was it worth it for him to do all that
He
stuff to everyone?
was Andy Kaufman.
He was Andy Kaufman.
But then he
He
messed up
was-
his own brain, which means he went too far, which we can do. And like, yeah.
Wait, was that a thing? Did he admit that he got
Totally.
he did?
Austin.
He lost his identity because of that role.
Damn.
I mean, he's gone as deep as to even say that he lost his identity a long time ago because he tried to become what everyone else wanted him to be.
That makes sense with
to
him.
see and to
And you see,
enjoy
he
what
puts-
he was portraying on stage,
And you could see that. I mean,
which is whoa.
That makes sense.
he was excellent. I mean,
He is excellent.
he's
I love
excellent.
Jim
I've never
Carrey.
seen him do it. I mean, like you could go all the way back to In Living Color. I mean, he crushed that shit back then, dude. Like he was killing it back then.
Yeah.
Those characters were just amazing. And who'd have knew that he was gonna go up and become this huge movie star?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of
This plays on a question that I've been wanting to
shout out
ask
to Jim
now.
Carrey.
Yes.
That's when you take on those characters and so for example, like earlier you mentioned that you don't like sports, and then you said you played a character that like her whole
I
life
had
was all
to.
about
Oh
baseball.
god, yeah. I read
But-
books.
And then you're talking about being these characters like out like in the city, you just walk around as the characters. And my question I'm always curious is how that affects you as a person. Like do you take do those characters that you portray do they become part of you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, I can listen to a song still and like feel the same things I would feel as that.
That's a good question.
I actually do that on purpose sometimes, where like I don't feel like being like because this is like a for me that I've done since I was a kid, right? But I know who I am. Like I'm here right now. But that's imagination. That's acting for me. Like I can put on a song and become a character. Like I'll listen to it and I'll be like, here I am. I'm back in you, and they're in me. Like I had anger issues after our last movie. I still like whenever I get mad, I would become her. She was mad. She was so mad all the time. That was how she expressed her pain, was anger. And I don't do that, right? I was literally mentioning that earlier. Like,
Yes, I recall.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I missed the bus like a month and a half ago, and I wanted to get home so bad. And then I just started nailing, like I was walking down the street doing my walk as this character, and I was like, motherfucking bitch ass fuck. And I was like, oh, Max, go back in.
Wow.
Yeah, and but that's just because I think it's
Are you the dude from 23?
No,
Is there a beast that's about to come up?
it's like a physical. It's like it's
Climb on
like
walls?
dance. I think it's like dance. It becomes muscle memory,
Yeah.
right? Whenever
It
I would
does.
get mad as the character,
Right.
that's the
Boom.
reaction I
It's a
gave
trigger.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, it slowly fades as I step away from these people. Like
Yeah,
you
over
know.
time, and
It
when,
goes away.
when you're in it, and that there's like a period where I've had the same thing where after I've done a role or something, whatever character I portrayed, there's some remnants of that. But then as slowly as you kind of progress away from it, or you do another project,
Exactly.
something else, that kind of fades away. And now, like if I were to try and remember what doing lines from My Fair Lady when I was in My Fair Lady when I was a young kid, and I mean I knew that shit up for a long time. I don't remember that shit now.
Yeah.
I just remember doing it. I remember enjoying it. I remember it was something I enjoyed. I don't remember all how I felt and all this. And of course, I was a kid in it. But like even roles I'm doing now, like I don't. There's not like a thing where afterwards. I don't know. I have a uncanny ability to also just be like in and then out.
Oh.
That's
I
it.
have a
You
hard
have a hard
time.
problem
No,
with
I have
that?
a hard problem with that.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Which is rough because
Yeah, it is.
because in
I'm getting
order to
better, by
portray
the
it-
way, at that. But I don't like
Yeah.
to be better at that.
Do
in
you?
order to portray it.
I know a lot of actors. They have a hard time. They do have to go and see a therapist, talk to them.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Totally had to do that. Yeah, of
So it
course.
helps.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the roles may have caused trauma to good old Susan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
I think
Put it-
just in general, I mean, the problem is not everybody thinks they can afford to do that, but your mental health is just as important as any, and in
Learned
some
balance.
cases more, because the mind affects everything.
Wait, I have a thing I'm going to say to all you actors, and he held up his hands, and I think that means 5 minutes. Okay. Anyway, whatever. Who cares? So, anywho, I will say this. You are your instrument. Take care of your instrument, people. I learned that the hard way. If you're good, your character, even if their life is shit, will be good. And that is something I have balanced and I'm learning to master that is take care of Susan.
You do.
Oh, I'm going to thrive on screen.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
That is very true.
It's so true. Yeah. Because
That's-
you can be,
have to-
you don't have to be miserable to play miserable
No, you don't.
at
And,
all.
and actually,
We've been miserable several times in our lives before we've had to play miserable.
yeah, no, you don't have to be miserable to play miserable.
Life is already a whole heap of misery.
You can tap into that. You don't need to be that.
Life is a misery.
There you go. You don't need to Kathy Bates this shit now. Straight up.
Kathy Bates is, what did she do? What did Kathy Bates do?
Misery?
Oh,
Come on, come on, come on.
I totally thought he said copy paste this shit.
No,
You missed it too,
you
buddy.
missed it. But I think that's a delightful way to move on to the next segment. And a good way to cap off this conversation. Because as much as we could probably continue chatting for hours and hours, we do have to wrap this up. And we have to move on to our next segment real quick. But I think what you mentioned about take care of yourself, whether it's for your acting or whatever it is in life that you're doing.
Take care of yourself.
I read a book by Jordan Peterson, and he's like 12 Rules of Life, and one of his rules is treat yourself like somebody you care about.
Yes.
Because we tend to take care of others
people.
better than we do ourselves.
Absolutely.
But if you're if you look at athletes or anybody
Dude, they invest in
crushing it,
themselves.
they invest in themselves, and the people that are not investing in themselves are doing themselves a disservice. So you have
It's a
to.
form of self-love to take care of
It is.
yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Hashtag self-love, which is a whole other thing we should get into.
Hashtag
But
live your best
No,
life.
that's what.
exactly.
Hashtag FOMO.
Hashtag
FOMO.
hashtag YOLO. I want to shoot myself.
I
Okay.
swear.
What is FOMO?
fear of missing out.
Okay.
So you only live once. And then with that,
that
let's move right along in other news. So
That's the hour thing. You don't know what that is. She was like, shit, where is that? I don't see that anywhere.
that's not on the sheets. What? They didn't prep me for that. Oh my God.
That's right.
Before we move on to our next segment, I'd like to let you know that this segment is sponsored by the number 4. The number 4, I have here the letter 4, I'm an idiot. The number 4. The number 4. That's right, 4. Why would a number sponsor our show? Well, that's because we are all about Chicago. And in case you haven't seen on our lovely flag, there are 4 stars.
Oh.
That's right, stars in the number of a 4. And that's why 4 would like you all to know that it's just as good as 3. It's just as good as 2. It's actually a double of 2. You might have more fun. It's like double mint peppermint gum, but double that. It's a double of the double peppermint gum.
Wait, do that again.
So it's a double of a peppermint gum. It's trying to tell you that is number 1. So go for 4. And 4 just wants to let you know that you will never be lonely, like the loneliest number, which is 1. So thank you, number 4.
That was good.
Thank you, number 4,
That
for
was-
sponsoring the show in Chicago in general. Yeah.
That was a good commercial.
Bro, you haven't even seen the likes of White Lightning yet.
Wow.
So, and with that, we're moving on Run. It's time for our favorite segment of the week. It is time for, that's right, number 2, Susan. It's time for the Jagoff of the Week. This week's Jagoff is
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I know this one.
It's not Jesus Christ.
It's not
Jesus is not the Jagoff. Don't jag off Jesus.
I'm not even laughing at that, man.
Jagoff is.
I'm keeping it. Lord, I have a straight face right now.
Don't do anything upon me that is vile or bad.
So,
But he's a carpenter.
not him.
We're the Jagoff.
Jesus is a carpenter.
Jesus,
He's got that working man.
He learned, but it ain't like he was like
Jesus
fixing
got that
tables.
working man sweat. Working man sweat. Get that working man booty. Working
All right.
man booty. Get that
This
working
is-
man.
No, we gotta. No.
Take seat in the
This
house.
is too much of incorporating Jesus with the Jagoff of the week. We gotta end it.
We gotta
That
end
needs
it,
to end
man.
right now.
It's over.
That is not who the Jagoff is.
Yeah,
The Jagoff of the week
yes.
is coronavirus. You motherfucking Jagoff. You fucking you disease that started in China and now you're coming into our territory in Chicago. And you know what? You know what I read? Was that business in Chinatown is down 50% since the beginning of coronavirus. So let's just so you know, the coronavirus, which that came from China. People here in Chicago are like, we're not going to go to Chinatown because Chinese people are in Chinatown, and therefore they could have corona. So we're not going to go to Chinatown to potentially get corona.
Really?
But look, as much as that's hilarious, also though, legitimately though, Chinatown is full of people from China. And if they came from the Wuhan province or Wuhan,
Right.
and they came before the quarantine happened,
That could be a problem.
theoretically,
Yeah.
so I get it, but also I love Chinatown, and I'd love to eat Chinese food from Chinatown, but you have a timeout there. What does that mean?
That burp, I was expecting more from you.
I didn't want to do this to the mic.
That was like, what?
you guys are talking
if we're
about
scaling
a serious
it like
disease.
1 to 5, like the dunk contest was last night.
Jagoff of the Week Part 2,
Yeah,
Susan's
she's like-
burp.
No!
Corona and Susan's burp are the Jagoffs of the Week.
I hate this part.
You know what? If you go burp, you gotta burp, man.
Yeah.
But then
I want it to.
I don't want to burp.
Belch out the Jagoff of the Week.
I don't want. Okay, fine. Let's belch it out.
As she takes a huge swig of her berry.
I wouldn't challenge you on that.
All right, well,
that burp might blow you out that
Yes,
shit.
no kidding. There you go. Wow, that was for you, coronavirus.
That was it.
That was also a first, having somebody belch at the Jagoff of the Week. But the Jagoff of the Week is coronavirus because it's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes it. It has come to Chicago.
It's here.
There's a first
That
case.
shit was
I
at
believe,
the
in United
All-Star
States.
game, man.
It was, yeah. It was the first. I mean,
It was.
It's in the celebrity game.
yeah.
What? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Corona. I gotta look out for that shit.
Yeah. And you know who also hates the Jagoff of the Week is coronavirus? Corona, the light beer. Not yet a sponsor of this podcast, but
Yeah,
Corona
man.
really hates all the memes that are coming out.
Hey,
They are not a fan.
shout out to Corona
Yeah.
for still like making it happen.
Way to not change your name like the Nova.
It's
I don't think so.
it's been a rough couple weeks for y'all.
I would have
This
changed
is
the name of coronavirus.
yeah.
It's
They're
not
just
called coronavirus
they just
anymore.
yeah.
I
It's
really don't think they hate it.
coronavirus light.
People are still saying the name. Why the fuck do they hate it? They differentiate the beer and the.
You're
the
not
fucking
mic'd, sir.
I don't want people to hear me talking about coronavirus.
Well, anyway, this week's Jagoff of the Week is coronavirus. We don't like you. Stop and go away. We want to get our cheap products from China again. We're not cool with even North Korea shut down their borders with China. And if North Koreans aren't already screwed, they're now even more screwed.
Yo,
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
dude, I'm not ordering shit from there.
Nope.
Oh, I'm getting wigs from there.
Oh,
They won't
burn
send
them.
them to you anyway. I ordered a Disney Channel duvet cover and I can't get it now.
Yep. No, they shut down everything because of coronavirus. So,
Yeah.
Corona. Susan, would you like to give the final "You're a Jagoff" to coronavirus?
Corona, why you gotta be killing people?
Why, Corona?
You Jagoff.
Why you gotta be doing that shit? Like, I mean, damn. Really?
You're a Jagoff Corona.
You really are.
All right, and with that's bringing us to the end of our podcast. But I just want to let you know that this episode is also sponsored by Dark Matter Coffee.
Yes.
Do you like coffee? Do you like to drink it in the morning? Do you get a little tired and you're like, I need a pick-me-up. I need something to help me out. Well, Dark Matter Coffee, a local Chicago coffee brand, is there to help you. Hey, did you know that there's no such thing as a light coffee? It's only dark coffee, which is why they're called Dark Matter. So go get yourself some dark coffee at Dark Matter, okay? Support your local Chicago brands and Chicago coffee and Dark Matter.
Yo, dark matter is fucking dark too.
It is dark and it's delicious.
It is. Is she doing subliminal messaging right now?
She's Shakira now. All right. Well, with that ends this episode of Chicago 60 Podcast. I would like to thank our wonderful special guest.
Yay!
Gordon is here.
Great.
Thank you. Susan, please tell everybody who is watching, who doesn't know you, where they can find you.
This is my social media plan.
Yeah.
Okay, my Instagram is FoxyBob725 and also Susan Gordon Actor. And then I have a Facebook. Should I give him my Facebook?
No.
Okay, I'm not
What
doing
about your
that.
website?
TheSusanGordon.com.
There you go.
Also, check out my up-and-coming show called Sweet Feenies. More to come on that later.
We'll be posting all of that
How do
in the
I watch the movie
description.
Ginger?
Ginger will be on demand May 1st.
We already mentioned that. Thank you, Joe.
Those that did not catch that.
That's right. And I love how it's the SusanGordon.com.
SusanGordon.com is already taken. There's
Oh, was
an
it?
actress with that name already.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
She's dead, but she was awesome in the 30s.
She was a
Wow,
child actress.
that's so
Yeah.
She got a website.
She has my almost birthday.
I looked her up and I was like, ooh, shit, wait, you're dead.
No, dude, I'm not dead. She has my birthday almost. So her birthday's like July 27th, and mine's like July 25th. She has blonde hair. She looks just like me. She died.
Same person.
I am her.
Oh my God,
I'm her, but alive.
Okay, but the most important part of all of that is your website starts with the, like you're the Ohio State University, and that's where I wanted to go with that. So thank you, Susan, for being here. It was delightful. We enjoyed having you on in this wonderful conversation. I also would like to thank my co-host Ron Russell. Thank you, Ron. Always a pleasure. I want to thank Quiet Stormin Norman, taking photos like a crazy man over there. I want to thank Joe Nilo for his wonderful insights, and our live audience member, Landon. And with that, if you enjoyed everything you saw here, and if you're watching on any of the lives, please, on Facebook, like us, follow us. You can get more amazing content about Chicago, local Chicago artists, comedians, actors, etc., and just funny conversation about what's going on. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We have a new
C-R-I-B-E, subscribe.
Yes, we have new comedy videos coming out every Thursday, and that is starting this week. So please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Short films, comedy sketches, all coming out, plus this podcast. It is amazing. Also, go to our Instagram. Shut up! Go to our Instagram.
That's not their Instagram.
Chicago_60, Chicago_60 is our Instagram. And if you're listening to this on iTunes or on Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. Follow us, like us. We appreciate it. It helps us hit the rankings. We really appreciate it. That ends and concludes this episode of the Chicago 60. Before we conclude it, in its summation, we have to say our favorite phrase of all time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bear down and fuck the Packers. All right, everybody, let's know the Chicago 60 podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot.
Oh shit! Okay, it's got lit.
Man,
Oh, my God.
you're yo.
Oh.
That's funny.
Yeah.